What's cracking, YouTube? Me, I'm just chilling. YouTube, I wasn't gonna say too much about Puff Daddy, man. You know, you already hear the jokes that's going around with Puff Daddy, but when they started to involve my boy Chris, you know what I'm saying, into these whole, allegations with Puff Daddy, and they're trying to say that, Chris Brown is trying to do this. You read the title yourself, but I don't know. I just can't let that go, you know what I'm saying, without saying my own opinion. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the video and see what they're talking about. Yeah. All right. Let's go and check this out, though.
Chris Brown's an amazing and talented musician, but let's call a thing a thing. He's a abuser of women.
R&B superstar Chris Brown is the latest celebrity to now come under focus in the Sean Combs story. Due to a new explosive documentary, older allegations about Brown assaulting a woman at a Combs party are being viewed in a very different light. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Well, another celebrity has been caught up in the Sean Combs legal and PR saga, maybe nightmare is the way to say it. This time, R&B superstar Chris Brown is who we're talking about. The Grammy Award-winning musician behind tracks like Forever, Under the Influence, Run It. Well, an unnamed woman who only goes by Jane Doe spoke out in a new documentary on Investigation Discovery. It is called Chris Brown, A History of Violence. And she claims that what was supposed to be a night of glamour and excess on a Miami yacht turned essentially into a terrifying situation. She accuses Chris Brown of drugging and raping her at a party on this yacht. And this yacht was docked outside of Combs' Miami mansion back in December of 2020. Now, the location and the timing of this allegation is key, and I'm going to explain why in a moment. But to be clear, she is actually not accusing Sean Combs of any wrongdoing per se, although again, she claims this happened on his yacht. She did apparently see him, though, said he was really nice. But we can't look at these accusations in a vacuum, right? Because what are we talking about? They come under the shadow of all of Combs' legal troubles. He's facing multiple sexual assault lawsuits. He's currently charged with federal sex crimes out in New York, racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion, transportation to engage in prostitution. He sits behind bars after being denied bail multiple times as he awaits his trial, which is currently scheduled for May of next year. And although he's currently fighting that, we've actually covered that on a previous sidebar. Remember, Combs is toxic. He is radioactive. Nobody wants to be associated with him right now, or it appears that way. It appears that everyone is trying to stay away from him and not say anything about him. And of course, not be implicated in what he is accused of doing. And that's why we put so much emphasis on attorney Tony Busby, who claims that he represents over 100 Sean Combs accusers and that he has already filed multiple lawsuits against Combs on their behalf, including representing clients who say that they were minors when Combs sexually assaulted them. And he indicated that he would be going after big name people. Even reportedly claimed that high-profile people have already reached out to him to settle claims so that they aren't mentioned in these lawsuits. And as a point of view, when it comes back to the criminal case, remember, Sean Combs is accused of operating a criminal enterprise, a criminal organization, that there was a conspiracy here. You can't enter into a criminal agreement with yourself. There are other people who are part of this or other people who might have witnessed this. And when we talk about co-conspirators, when we talk about potential witnesses, does this include celebrities? Does this include high-profile people? We'll talk about that in a second. But let's go back to Chris Brown. Jane Doe says that she stepped onto this luxury vessel and that essentially she was walking into a trap. As the champagne flowed and music pulsed, Brown allegedly handed her drink after drink. She said, quote, "I don't remember if I saw him pour it, but I just drank it, and he just hands me another drink." She says in the documentary, "As I'm standing there, I did start to feel kind of tired and my body was feeling a little heavy." And that is when Brown allegedly led her to a bedroom on the yacht, sprawled out on the bed, and then climbed up on top of her. And literally through tears, she says on the documentary how she couldn't move. And that is when she says Chris Brown assaulted her. The details
You know what? I'm gonna just say this though. I really don't believe this chick, man. It could have happened. Anything could happen. But I mean, this is a multi-platinum. Hundreds of million records sold. Hundreds of millions of dollars probably in his bank account. He has a lot to lose. He has I think he has like a kid or two. Um, I mean, why would he throw that all away for like one piece of cooch? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to really downplay the situation because this is really serious situation. But why would he, what I'm saying, throw all that away for one piece of cooch when this man could literally go to a club or just go out anywhere and women just basically throw themselves. I mean, the most gorgeous women that you ever seen of all nationalities, of all colors, races, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Even if he just wanted a man, he could just have whatever he wants. Why would he waste it on some silly female that's coming to this yacht party knowing? I'm not saying that all the women on that yacht, that yacht party are play toys, but why would you go to a yacht party, start drinking? You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody handing you some cocaine, right? And you start to hit the coke, right? And you thinking ain't nothing gonna happen. You know what can happen. That's how I just look at things. Like, and who lets people get their drink though? Like, really? Who lets people get their drinks? That's how I look at things. Anytime we're out, my wife and I we're out with friends and stuff, I say, don't let nobody get your drink. Let me get your drink. I don't trust nobody. I tell my mama the same thing. When we go into these little parties, these little Thanksgiving parties or whatever, and you ask for a soda or a juice or something, let me get it for you. Let my brother get it for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your husband get it for you. Don't let nobody else get it for you because, man, people these days are weird as hell. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to do something to you over some hate. But I feel like she's just a disgruntled fan or something, or maybe she's like an old ex of something that he had a long time ago that, maybe he didn't want to deal with no more.
Details are stomach churning, but Doe describes feeling so disgusted as Brown allegedly kissed her and literally muffled her protests so she couldn't scream out. She essentially claims that she was powerless to stop the assault, that she was trapped in this drug induced haze. And in a twisted turn, Jane Doe apparently, after this attack, stayed in contact with Brown, stayed in touch with him, desperately seeking what she says is clarity on what happened here. And she says it wasn't until later on through therapy that she claims she fully grasped the horror and the reality of what she says happened to her. By the way, as we're sorting through these legal issues surrounding Chris Brown, and yeah, they're quite disturbing allegations to say the least, I think it puts an emphasis on how important it is to understand the law. I mean, we talk about it all the time, knowing your legal rights. And look, I can't say that without calling out our incredible sponsor and partner of Sidebar, Morgan & Morgan, because
I'm
if
gonna
you should
fast
get
forward this
injured,
part
that's
though.
the largest injury attorneys talking 6 in these cases. You can easily seen this before. You stay in contact with the person who sexually assaulted you. As we have learned through the years, there are a number of different reasons why that might happen. Sometimes people might not understand what happened to them. They might be in fear. There's a number of different reasons why that happens. They might have this attachment to their abuser. We're going to talk about whether or not she's credible in a minute, but just keep that in mind. Now, there may be some of you who have just heard this and say, why does this sound so familiar? Well, that is because Jane Doe had already filed a lawsuit against Chris Brown back in 2020. She sued him for $20 million. Now, not only did Chris Brown deny the allegations, but he fired back. He released text messages to prove that this sexual assault didn't happen. This included a nude selfie reportedly sent from Jane Doe to Chris Brown and a text from her to him writing, quote, "You were honestly the best bleep I've had, and I just want it again." He also apparently shared a voicemail allegedly left by the woman
Dang.
where the voice says, "I just want to see you again. Just let me know. If you want me to leave you alone, I will, but I really just wanna," and then a phrase indicating she wanted to have sexual intercourse. Now, Brown ended up taking to social media at the time saying, "No more dragging me through the mud. Clearly, you can all see the blue cap emoji." That's blue cap meaning lying. He added, "Me and my team are taking legal action on this situation. You don't play with people's lives like that." However, Jane Doe, in a statement to People, said,
I know this is off subject, but you remember that the incident with Chingy? You know what I'm saying? With that transsexual guy, what's his name? Sydney Starr, the girl that claims that she's a guy. I don't believe it though, but you know what I'm saying? How she got on an interview and said that she lied on Chingy. She ruined my man's life. She ruined my man's life. His career was over. Ain't no telling how many other people that she ruined that might have been smaller than Chingy at that time. But back to Chris Brown, I feel like this lady is just, I don't know, man. She's women. Sometimes women to me, I'm not saying all women. Sometimes some women to me, they just want to ruin a man's life just because maybe he got money. Maybe, like I'm saying, she tried to sue him for 20 mil. You know what I'm saying? 20 M's. And that's crazy work. You know what I'm saying? That's wild work to try to sue somebody for 20 mil for some stank cat. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, come on, man. I mean, if she's doing this to Chris Brown, excuse me, I'm a little under the weather. How many, I don't want to sneeze, how many other rappers and superstars has she done this to? You know what I'm saying? How many probably others, or she got friends that do it. I call those people stank cats because they're the ones that got the stank cats that's always, doing that to these type of celebrities, trying to trap them, trying to get pregnant, so that way they can have an unlimited ATM account. That way they keep drawing like child support or almost like what's the Kardashians? You know what I'm saying? How they be doing the rappers and the basketball players and the athletes and stuff like that. I call that a stank cat because they're ready to jump on to the next, you know what I'm saying, the next lick, the next job or whatever. But man, it's just wrong. I mean, I don't believe in karma, but I believe you get what you get towards the end, though.
said that none of the texts disprove the occurrence of the sexual assault. "I want people to realize that and stop shaming victims and or calling them liars just because they love an artist they don't even know." In the end, though, her legal team dropped her as a client. And this came after apparently the police department provided them with additional information. At the time, they said this information, quote, "precludes us from representing Jane Doe in the Chris Brown matter." And Jane Doe's lawsuit was actually thrown out for what the judge reportedly called a lack of prosecution, meaning there was no activity in the case for a while. And it was dismissed without prejudice, meaning it could be refiled. But having said that, Jane Doe did speak up in this documentary nonetheless. And her attorney, Ariel Mitchell Kidd, who we've spoken about before here on Sidebar, she had represented Combs accuser Adria English at one point in time. Well, Mitchell Kidd said, quote, "My client was definitely assaulted and I believe her." She also told People magazine, "I believe what happened to her is 100% true. I feel that I failed her as an attorney because I couldn't make her comfortable enough with me in such a short period of time where she felt 100% comfortable being forthcoming with me." So that makes me wonder, was there more information that wasn't shared to her attorney? Now, the thing about this alleged assault is, and I mentioned it before, Jane Doe claims that this happened on Combs' yacht, that he may have owned it, that he may have chartered it, not sure. But while a Sean Combs-affiliated source reportedly told Page Six that these allegations have nothing to do with Diddy at all and have not alleged any wrongdoing against him, we cannot forget that the terms yacht, assault, and Combs, they have all been in the same sentence recently. Because while this alleged assault happened on this yacht back in December of 2020, we can't forget that a young woman named Grace O'Markey filed a separate lawsuit against Sean Combs and his son Christian Combs, where she says that Christian sexually assaulted her on a Combs chartered yacht back in December of 2022. So we're talking relatively similar allegations.
Yo, is that the same shorty where she tried to say that P. Diddy's son tried to get her drunk and try to, like, you know what I'm saying, like telling her to take the shots, just take the shots, and he got her and started kissing up on her and started trying to you know what I'm saying, try to vape her. Can't say the R word on here on YouTube. YouTube is weird, but anyway, try to get, you know what I'm saying, get up into her. Is that the same shorty though? It was crazy though. It's she's probably thinking, I got you, because now that, Puff is going through all this stuff and you chilling with him, it's gonna make my case look more believable. Yo, people are smart as hell, bro. People are really smart to try to do these things, but I don't know. It might just work for her because of all the allegations that's going with Puff Daddy. Like, say if he's convicted, charged, convicted, or whatever you say, like he loses the case, she might actually win her case, though. Really, like, because people really love pointing fingers. Like, the internet really loves pointing fingers. I mean, people will probably take her side more. I don't know, but let's keep going. Come on.
At a similar time frame, 2-year difference. And we've broken this lawsuit down before, but brief summary, or Markey claims that when she was 25 years old, she worked as a steward on Combs' yacht. And one night, Christian comes aboard. He starts kissing her. He starts groping her. That this was allegedly witnessed by another Combs accuser, Rodney Lil Rod Jones. And then she says later on in the night, Christian trapped her in the cinema room of the yacht, took off all of his clothes, and tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. So she not only sues Christian for claims like assault and battery, but she ends up suing Sean Combs for aiding and abetting and having premises liability because this attack happened essentially on his property. And by law, he would have a duty to keep her safe. We believe this lawsuit is still ongoing, by the way. So now we're looking at these claims a little bit differently because now this is not the first time that we've heard about an alleged assault on a Sean Combs property. But let's go back to Chris Brown for a second. As you can see in the title of this documentary, Chris Brown, A History of Violence, it focuses upon not just this alleged encounter, but all of the other troubles that Brown has faced and the multiple accusations.
My thing is, like, why would you keep going? Why would you keep going to these Puff Daddy parties if if your stupid behind is almost getting like every single time you go to one of these puffy parties. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't make sense to me though. Like, why would you keep going there? Like, the first time should have been enough. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Some people just dumb. It's almost like the ladies that's like in those physical abuse relationships. And as soon as he hits you one time, but you stay with him for 10 or 30 years, 10, 20, 30 years, but he's beating you every day.
Of domestic violence and sexual assault and violence that he has faced over the past several years. And if you recall, what are we talking about? He physically assaulted R&B singer Rihanna back in 2009.
And for that too, that right there, that wasn't his fault though. I mean, he only retaliated because, what I'm saying, she hit him in the eye with the heel of her, what I'm saying, with the heel of her shoe over jealousy. That's what the a lot of people were saying. I don't believe he actually just hit her just to hit her though, man. Almost like that, like what's my man Jonathan Majors when he tried to escape from that lady that was chasing him and stuff like that, and he ended up losing his career while he was running away from his abuser, which was weird. I mean, like, men, we get the worst part no matter what we do.
Graphic photos were released for the world to see of her injuries, and he ended up pleading guilty to assault, received probation, received community service. Brown's ex-girlfriend, Karrueche Tran, obtained a restraining order against him after she says he punched her, threw her down a flight of stairs, threatened to kill her. Another accuser featured in the documentary claims that Chris Brown assaulted her in Las Vegas, which resulted in her receiving a black eye. She ended up suing him, settled the case. Brown was arrested in Paris several years back for alleged rape, but the investigation was dropped. And now Brown's legal team has come forward, and they have called the allegations in this documentary
Damn, Chris.
malicious and false. But of course, the larger picture becomes not only what will come of such a documentary, that's of course, but could Chris Brown play a role in Sean Combs' prosecution? Has he been interviewed by federal prosecutors? Does he know anything? Has he come under their radar at all? I would say based purely on the accusations and the former cases against Brown, that wouldn't necessarily make him an accomplice or co-conspirator in the racketeering and sex trafficking case against Sean Combs, because first of all, a lot of these allegations have previously been litigated, or they would be more likely the focus of state charges, but also nothing to suggest that Brown is part of what Combs is accused of. There's no evidence that has surfaced as of yet that Chris Brown was a part of these freak-off encounters that are central to Combs' criminal case, the coerced, drug-fueled sexual trysts involving male commercial sex workers. Also, there's nothing to suggest that Chris Brown was a participant or aware of this alleged criminal enterprise that Sean Combs directed or was in charge of, as prosecutors allege. But again, the question we always ask is the government just speaking with anyone and everyone who may have information about what was happening behind the scenes with Sean Combs or who were at these events, whether or not they're even called as witnesses at a trial? Are prosecutors trying to speak with everyone? Look, we don't know who's been issued a subpoena. We don't know who the cooperating witnesses are. We don't even know who all the victims are. A lot of this is kept secret at the federal level, and that's common in federal cases. But whoever was within Combs' orbit, and especially Chris Brown, in light of these allegations, they may have to be thinking if they could play some role somewhere in the criminal case. We'll continue to follow it for you. But that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you.
Let me tell you this though. You guys remember when Cat Williams said that everything was going to come to light in 2024? My man might. I mean, he might not be no prophet, but I mean, he might be. He might got like a sixth sense or something. He might see the future or something. He might have seen a dream or had some type of intuition because man, this year has been wild, man. This year has been wild. All these big name celebrities going down. Who else been messing with Puffy that's been doing some type of shady type of things? Your favorite rapper, your favorite singer, your favorite even gospel singer, probably just I don't know, man. Just people just weird these days. Like that's why I always say we're living the last days, and the devil really is the god of this world. You know what I'm saying? For right now, the temporary god of this world, and he wants what's due to him. You know what I'm saying? He's ready to go ahead and collect. And man, I tell you what, that's why you got to stay prayed up, man, and to just watch where you step, because everything that shines ain't gold. Everything that glitters ain't gold, man. You know, a lot of these celebrities that's getting up in these days, and I'm just going off in the deep end right now. Puffy probably was one of them that they made him like, you know, like one of the heads. He said, "Hey, if you want this career, you know, with this $10 million, and this is just for entertainment purposes only. I don't want to get in trouble or anything. This man can say like, hey, for $10 million, but you gotta bend it over for me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give me an hour with you, and you sign this contract. I get you $10 million on your next deal." Hey, it's a lot of people that come from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like you put that in front of their faces. If they don't know God, man, if they don't know right from wrong, you know what I'm saying? They live like maybe like really poor. They come from a poor upbringing. They're not gonna turn $10 million down. Have you ever seen $50,000 up close? I have. I've touched, 50,000. I've came into a large amount of money, and it was pretty big. So I've never seen $1 million before. I've never seen $10 million. But think of it, 10, 20, $30 million come up in your face for some sex once a year. People be like, yo, all I gotta do, I'm just going off of what I'm thinking. Some people might be like, yo, and this for girls and guys. They might be like, yo, for like, 10, 15 minutes of sex or like an hour worth of sex for 30 million. That's a lot of people that'll do it. It's a lot of you guys out there, girls too, that would do it too. I'm serious. It's a lot of you people out there. I mean, some of you guys joke about it, but I mean, deep down, them jokes is really real. Them jokes really come from somewhere. I mean, really deep though, that you probably would do it though. But anyway, I'm YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I surely do appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming and chill with me. Tell me down in the comment section what you think about this whole Chris Brown, Puff Daddy, and this alleged Jane Doe. I think he's innocent with this, but I'm not too sure about the other things that's been said about him through this lawyer law of crime right here. But I mean, it's like they put allegations against, certain celebrities. I'm gonna just say this too. When he hit Rihanna, I believe that was self defense or like retaliation. You know what I'm saying? And they've been trying to get him ever since. You know what I'm saying? The man. And I'm not just saying like the man as in terms of white people or anything. I'm talking about the man as in general as the internet, the ones that want to just take him down and ruin his life. That man has changed, I believe. I'm not saying change for Christ or anything. I don't know. I don't know what his heart has to hold. I don't know. I don't know. But I know he's changed his life for the better for his family. And with that being said, I believe Chris Brown is in, so I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Like I said, I surely do appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming to chill with me, and I'm gonna keep getting into this thing right here. Of course, I'm gonna get into other things too. Let's go ahead and keep doing this thing. You guys have a blessed one. Peace.